Good morning, everyone. I am Preeti Thakur from School of Computing Science and Engineering. I am going to take the subject Introduction to DBMS to the BSc third semester students, and the course code for this particular subject is BSCS 2322. So the prerequisite for this particular course is any programming language you should know. The student should know that any programming language and a knowledge of data structures. The objective of studying this course is to study the basic concepts and major techniques in DBMS implementation. Also to study the concepts and techniques for data storage, query processing and transaction management, to store and analyze data into normalized format, and the introduction of research development ability through technical survey and presentation. This is the syllabus designed for DBMS. The Unit 1 is the introductory part in which the terminologies required to understand that subject and some basic introductory information is in the unit number 1 will be covered in the unit number 1. The unit number 2 is basically deals with the designing of the database. So it is related to the modeling, and the modeling will be done with the help of ER diagram, and also once your data is designed, how to create it and how to extract the information stored in the database with the help of SQL. The third unit is related to the normalization process of the database. In this third unit consists of from functional dependencies, a normalization process. After that, unit number 4 is related to transaction and processing concept, in which the student will learn the serializability, the schedules of the serializability, as well as if the transaction is failure, then how to recover from that transaction failure. And the unit number 5 is included. Unit number 5 consists of concurrency control technique. It means if more than one process are running at the same time, then how we will ensure that concurrency control. And the unit number 6, which is basically the recent trends and research, so in which the student has to review the techniques of the past and what they has to propose in the in their you can say in their research. So in this particular unit they have to have some idea about the publication, they have to have idea about what are the current technologies and tools available in DBMS. Now let us have some introduction of the DBMS. But before understanding the DBMS, you should know what the data and information is, because we are going to store the data and information in the DBMS, so we should have a clear cut difference between the data and the information, because data is everywhere. That is a raw fact and figure. You are only required the information from it. So the data is a raw fact of figures. But when you process that data and you find some meaningful information from it, then that is called an information, right? So the DBMS is Database Management System. Basically, this is an application software that provides the facility to store and manage the data. And it has the set of programs to create and manipulate and manage the database. Before DBMS approach, we were having some file systems. File system is nothing but in which the data is stored in the form of file. That can be a manual file system, that can be a e-file system, electronic file, right? So when we were using those file system, some issues or drawbacks were there. There are some drawbacks which are listed out, and due to those drawbacks we came with the advantage and we use DBMS, which probably which probably finds a good solution over the file system. So the file system basically we're having a kind of duplicacy problem. Duplication is when your data is redundant. It is stored in many files and formats and different places. For understanding this redundancy and inconsistency of file system, just you need to understand about one example. Suppose as a student you come into the university and your data is stored in many of the departments. When you took admission, your data is with the admission team, and after that when your department is finalized, your data is stored somewhere, or your information is stored somewhere with the department with a particular format. And after that when you give or you pass one semester exam, your data is with exam cell as well. So there are three different departments and your data is maintained in different file formats. So first of all, there is a issue of storage, because the same information is stored many places which is not required. So duplicate information is stored. Now you may ask that okay, if the duplication is there, what's the problem in that? So the problem is of inconsistency. Inconsistency is your same data is showing different at different places. Now to understand this, suppose after your admission, when your one semester has passed, you come to the college and you notify that my previous address was changed. Now I am residing at this place, kindly update. So one of the department has updated your information about your address, but others are not, because they are not aware of this thing, right? So if in the future anybody wants to know about your address, one of the file will say or gives the information about the address one, and other files may give you the updated address. So the same person's data is inconsistent because it is different at different places. Okay. Second is difficulty in accessing data, because if your data is in different files, then to access that data you need to write program every time if you want to carry out the new task. So this is difficulty in accessing data. After that we have data isolation. Data isolation because multiple files and formats are there, so data is isolated, but the same data has to be used. So data should be in centralized format, but this is the drawback of file system, that data is dispersed, data is segregated at different places. Also it has integrity problem. Integrity problem is, suppose you want that the student's age should not be greater than 16 at the time of admission. So in file system, by mistake anyone can provide age by mistake rather than 16 to 61. It may happen, it can be a typo mistake, but in the case of DBMS we have some checks which we can apply so that correct data would be entered into the database, right? Here you can also see, if we want that account, if a person is opening an account, his or her account balance should not be less than 5,000. So we can create a check on it, that if account balance is going low, just notify that your amount will be deducted. So these kind of integrity constraint we can put in the case of DBMS, but this is a lacking of file system. Also atomicity of updates or recovery problem. So if the file system has been crashed or something, it would be really difficult to recover the data, and also some failures occurs in the mm, data of that file system. It makes it in an inconsistent state, but in the case of database management system there is a proper recovery uh, mechanism by which all your database would be in consistent state and recovered. Next is concurrent access by multiple users. In the case of database, we can provide access to multiple users. Because data is centralized, we can give a check to them, and we can uh, give some kind of authority to the users of the database. So there is a proper security in the case. But if we use file system, then we would not be able to give concurrent access to the multiple users. And for example, here you can see if there is an uncontrolled concurrent access, it would lead to some inconsistency in database. So two people, if reading a balance of any account and let's say updating the withdrawing money at the same time, so it would be difficult because two people are reading the balance, one is updating and one is already working on the previous balance. So concurrent access, if it is uncontrolled, then would lead to a inconsistency. Also, there are security problems. We cannot uh, provide a proper security mechanism in the case of file system. Also, if we have given authority to open that file or to read that file, then it is hard to maintain that certain part of the file will be visible to the user and certain file we can keep hide. But in the case of database, you can provide you can make a granularity level onto which you can give authorities to see the particular record, to see the particular table, to see the particular database. So if one person is at the higher post or higher authority, if you want to give the authority to see all the tables of the database and all the records, then you can give. If the person has to work only onto certain tables, then uh, you can also give authority to see the tables only. So that way, this is a advantage of using DBMS. Okay, so let us summarize now for about today's session. So we have understood about data and information. We differentiate between data and information. Data is raw facts and figures, and information is when we process that data becomes information. We also have seen about the drawbacks of file system, which we were used in the past. So those were the system traditionally used, and there were some drawbacks due to which now we are on the database approach and we use database management system.